Support for the Klyph Notes podcast comes from Acapella Apparel, an idea born from a love of hip-hop, funk, and soul music and its surrounding cultures. With fashion being a huge visual part of the cultures, they've created expressive images to pay homage, invoke nostalgia, and showcase the elements that make up the lifestyle and cultures of these genres. Acapella, apparel for the music lifestyle. For more information, check out acapella.com. That's AKEPELE.com.
Right.
So,
Well, we're just gonna jump right in, y'all. Once again, we back again. It's another episode of Klyph Notes coming at you. I don't even know how often now. It just comes at you whenever I get to like get a really busy individual to take time to come through. Once again, shout out to Acapella for all that they do. Shout out to XRAY FM for supplying the space. And just shout out to y'all, man, for supporting. Continue to support. Remember, the podcast is available at all of your digital download sources, so be sure to like, share, and comment, and just stay tuned for more great content. All right, we're just going to get into it, man. This is a cat who I have known for a number of years, who I've been a fan of just for really just who he is. And when you think about Portland hip-hop, you obviously have to think of this man. So without any further ado, man, let them know who you are.
Cool Nutz, Just Family Records, Executive Branch Management, the Breakout Show, Playlists, and a number of other hats, that I wear respectively in the not, I don't want to even say the business, in the culture, which has turned into a business,
That's what's up. My man Cool Nutz, bruh. Like, on the really real, bruh, I truly appreciate it, because like you just ran down, I know you're a busy dude, so thank you so much for coming through, man.
No, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I said it's funny, from my perspective, when I see people and I become fans of who they are for their art or whatever the case may be, it's always easy for me to remember the first time that I meet people. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give a big shout out to my man, Ed, who was doing work out at Metro East doing video work.
Yeah.
And Ed had me come through just to play records and stuff. And then he had me interviewing people, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna have Cool Nutz come through."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In
a TV show.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Man, the underground.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that we met, man. And from jump, you were always, and again, see, from my perspective as a fan, it's always weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I always be like, you know what I mean? But you've always been super, super cool. So thank you. You've always been gracious with your time. So thank you. I just want to put that out there in public, bro. I appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate that, man. And one of the most important things for me has kind of always been giving people the respect that I want, like the same way I want to be treated, I try to treat people that same way in terms of regard, of acknowledging, regardless of whatever I'm doing. If I'm at a better place than you are in the game, or perceived as, you know what I'm saying? Like, still making it a point to treat everybody like with respect and courtesy and kindness, because that goes a long way. And even just like giving out the energy you want to come back, man.
That's what's
you know
up.
What I'm saying?
That's what's up. And it's crazy because, yes, I think that's so true in whatever business you're in, whether it be art, whether it be business or whatever. At the end of the day, man, it's just about being a good human being and carrying those traits over into whatever your craft is. Man, so much to cover, bro. I might have to try to pin you down and do part 2 on this one, bro.
I'm down.
You've been, so like I said, when people think of Portland hip hop, so I'm not a Portland native.
Yeah.
I moved to Portland in the mid '90s. So when I moved to Portland and was trying to learn who was here musically, obviously your name was one of the first names that I saw.
Yeah.
And so I've been kind of watching what you've done, but like you've been at this for a minute.
Yeah.
Like it's on Wikipedia, so I can put it out there. Like you 25 in, B.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is. And I think about that even for me, like when where I started with hip hop, like breakdance, and just being a fan of hip hop, and then it turning into the MCing, then it turned into the record label, it turned into producing records, turned into releasing records, it turned into managing artists, running events, the Portland, Oregon Hip Hop Festival, radio shows, curating like what is Music Fest Northwest, now being the first, booking the first 5 years of hip hop talent for that, and so much more, that it's just been, it's been a blessing. Record deals, man, big experiences, like growing up a fan of E40, and now him being, you know, a good friend and a mentor to me. You know what I'm saying? Like so many different things are like, even like the playlist show or doing the radio show with CJ McCullum, like where different things just come out of who I am and the work that I've done that continue to be blessings through this music thing. You know what I mean? And as you see so many people through the culture that fall off or fade out or whatever, and we all have our peaks and valleys and different stuff, but trying to, you know, staying consistent and being able to stay relevant and even staying in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the important things for me is like, whether it be putting together a show or doing different things, like being in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most important things, where I'm in the conversation. And it doesn't have to just be rapping. It could be just like, yo, contributing, you know?
That's what's up. And once again, I think it's crazy to think, well, it's not crazy. It's interesting because I'm an old head. Mm-hmm. It's cool for me to see people who have been, who've had levels of success in this genre and then continue to do it. Yeah. Really, I mean, 25 years is a long time in hip hop.
Man, I was just thinking about like 2 or 3 days ago, I was just like thinking about what all has changed and came and went, and trends, and how music is digested, and just even just the business, the culture, and even like I was one of a real eye-opening moment. We went out and we did the Holy Ship, and it was, I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a big boat cruise that Destructo, the DJ, does. It's all like all these top EDM DJs. The whole ship, 4,000 people on the ship, and they have shows all over the ship, DJs DJing, and then they brought out 40 and Short. And so we got on the ship. 40 was supposed to meet us in the Bahamas, but there was a storm. So the boat had to bypass the Bahamas. So we end up on the boat, me, Fat Boy, and his manager, RJ, on the boat. 40 doesn't end up getting on there. So we on there with Too Short. So Short ends up having Fat Boy DJ for him. And one of the nights I'm watching him perform, and it's probably like 1,000, 1,500 people. And you looking and you're saying, I watched Too Short come in the game, like same thing 20, 30 years ago. And now he's here on this cruise ship in front of these young like EDM fans, and they know who he is. And I had to like, and we cool, like, you know, Short is another one of them people like I'm cool with. And I had to, like, after he performed, I went up, I was like, we just was popping it. I was like, yo, man, you should be really proud of what you've done, because you 30 years into this, and look at what you still doing, bro. Like your thing is transcended 30 years of us being on a cruise ship at an EDM party in the Bahamas with you rocking. We out on the deck, ocean, and just on some like, and that's another thing about another moment of all the cool things I've seen through hip hop. You know, like we on the ship, man, and we're up in the private area, and it's like Marshmello. I don't know if you ever heard of Marshmello, the EDM DJ. He's like, he wears like this hat where it's white big marshmallow mask, and he has all this dope imaging and stuff. But he has a new single, I think, with Khalid. So it's Marshmello and Khalid. But and then A-Track is up there, and you know what I mean? Like all of these top dudes are up there. And I'm like back there chilling and coming in with Short, and they're like, oh yeah, you work with 40 and all, you know. But like things where you sit back and you take in the moment, and you like, man, this is dope. This is I worked to get here. You know what I mean?
So when you think, so if we go back a bit, man, and I think like probably like a lot of people, hip hop MCing, but hip hop, like you mentioned, breakdancing. It's like now I think we say the culture, and it almost becomes a little bit cliche-ish.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But the culture, like the culture is a real thing. Not just this entertainment thing that we see on television, on the internet. Like it's kind of what we did when we came up. Just
the culture was living it.
Exactly,
the culture was living it. The culture. When I say the culture, specifically when I say the culture, I like to think of when we were in high school, and you knew the Snoop Dogg record was coming out, and you planned your whole day around, I'm going to school, Me and my homies, we're going to catch the bus to the record store, to 2nd Avenue or wherever.
Right.
We're going to get that Snoop Dogg record.
Right.
We're going to catch the bus. And we might even have Walkmans or everybody
Somebody
bought a copy.
A boom box or whatever. Yeah.
And we on the bus and we might be listening to our headphones, or we going to wait till we get home. And when we get home, we're going to put it in. We all going to sit around and read the credits.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you knew who the producers were. You were looking at the cover, all the credits and all of that, you know, and in the videos you were watching like what shoes is Snoop wearing, because that's the difference now, where people are so blessed to have the access they have, because now you can go on YouTube and watch hip hop everywhere from all over the world. But when we were coming up, you had to wait for the Box or Rap City or Yo MTV Raps, and you only got to see that video once unless you was able to
VHS,
tape it.
Baby, yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's one of the things I say now when I say with that, there's no reason for an MC to have a whack recording, to have a whack stage show, to have whack imaging, because now you have so much access to watch whatever your favorite artist is doing. Like I was on YouTube the other day and I was watching something, and then it fed in the other stuff to like all these live performances of Migos. Mm-hmm. So then I'm like, I'm gonna go watch 5 of their live performances. So I go watch Lollapalooza. Yeah. I go watch this festival, that festival, and so I'm evaluating like they stage presence. I'm evaluating, are they rapping over the vocals? Right. What the DJ's doing? Looking at the crowd, and I'm like, it's dope. Like you can take in and everything, man, and really like see it all and digest it when we didn't have that access. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard for me to talk about the art form without sounding a little man, when I was younger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, it is so different now. Yeah. And we are blessed to have all this instantaneous access, right? Mm-hmm. Your album drops today. Yeah. Today, I'm on Spotify streaming the whole album. Yeah. And like you say, I'm on YouTube because you're dropping the video. I want to see. I get it all right now. Yeah. Yeah. But with that, I think it feels like comes a little bit of we don't sit with it anymore like we used to. Like you said, we don't look at the credits. We don't really try to get to see what direction this artist is going in with this project. Everything becomes so disposable right now, and I feel like that's changed the industry because artists really don't necessarily have to put in the same work. If they choose to, they will. Yeah. But you don't have to, and you can still get love. Yeah. So number one, as an artist who's done it as long as you have, but then also as a manager, record label owner, tour manager, and someone who's traveled the world, does that irritate or irk you at all, or do you just look at it as, well, that's where we are right now with in the industry? It does irritate or irk me because the way that you're talking about it is what is ingrained in me, right, and what made us, you know what I mean, or made me have a career, or be what is successful. Like nowadays, like everything, like you said, it's on the internet. Like we came from, you really had to be out selling your CDs. I was dropping off boxes of CDs at record stores. I was, people sat with my albums for like an album could have a 1.5, 2-year run for you before you had to put out another one. Right. Like, when I put out Harsh Game, that was 96. I didn't put out the next Cool Nutz album, like 96. Then the next Cool Nutz album, I was Speaking Upon a Million. That was 98, 99. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? But people rode that record, that Harsh Game record, for 2-3 years. Right. You know what I mean? And people will find new songs and other, and it ain't like that no more. Like right now, like you look at Macklemore. Macklemore just put out, his new album just came out. But leading up to that album, he had to drop like 4 songs. And then some of them would be like they'd come out and be like, oh, Macklemore got a new song. And then, oh, here goes the next song. Macklemore got a new song with Lil Yachty. Yeah. And it used to be like, oh, Macklemore, oh man, oh, guess what, y'all? Right. Macklemore dropped a song with Lil Yachty. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because like even when we was coming up, like
oh, guess what? Snoop did a remix with Nas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You'd be like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, Macklemore dropped a song with Lil Yachty. Okay. They put out the video.
Yeah.
Next, he's on to the next song.
Exactly.
Now, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
like, so now with Macklemore, it's like he has the video to Glorious. He had the video to Marmalade. He got the video to the one with him and Kesha now. And it's like, and this is all in a 2-month period.
Right.
Like he had to like bombard you.
Right.
And you know, and it's crazy because music wasn't like that. Like even with like, you think how long he with Thrift Shop.
Right.
Thrift Shop, boom. And he rolled that out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then Can't Hold Us Back. Boom. He rolled it out.
Yeah.
Now it's like he got to get in there and like even being as big as he is, you're having to like step, bam, you know, punch after punch. It's crazy, man.
I think I often say it's a part of the fact that we're so ADD as a society.
Yeah.
That we don't. I was listening to something and somebody was talking about I think they were talking about the Tribe record, and they were saying how, or maybe it was even the D'Angelo record, and they were saying how they were still sitting with, you know, with those records, still like you're saying, finding gems that you didn't hear that first time through. As an artist, do you feel pressure then, just from an artistic standpoint, do you feel pressure then to be on it like that? Like, I got to put something else out. I got to. Like now, man, like I have to, like because you can feel it. Like if I take, like how I was saying to you, like I don't be on my music all like that sometimes. So if I'm not constantly coming with songs, like you can feel the shift in momentum. Like I can feel it. Like I can watch, like if I drop a song 2 months ago, I come back with another song that, you know, like the next month, you could feel people's eyes is on you. They watch it. Then now I'm coming with another one. You know what I'm saying? Or I got the album coming. Okay, well, people waiting. They're like waiting to hear what the single is, you know? So like you definitely got to be on it. Like even more so, like right now, like I dropped the video, the Terrence video, and then I came back with the song with me, Ill Mac, and Mr. Fab. Right. And then now I'm gonna shoot a video for the Yaper, which is a Too Short one, and then I'm gonna drop the single, which is me and Dre Steve. Okay. So it's like you having a boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to do it, or you won't. People will forget about you, man. Like you like they literally, because they have so much access to so much music. So like if like you can go on your phone and type in music like Cool Nutz. Right. So if we like, man, I ain't heard no new Cool Nutz, I got to go get something like Cool Nutz. Right. Cool Nutz type songs. Yeah. Or they go on my Spotify or my Pandora, and it goes into a wormhole or the SoundCloud of a wormhole of artists that sound like me that are dropping songs every week. So it's crazy, man. It's amazing to just try to keep up with it all, especially as a curator, man. You know, you try. Because I mean, like, so you have a radio show, so you know this. You're constantly getting music, right? Constantly getting music. And you find that joint that you're like, oh, this, man, I'm definitely getting this in rotation. Yeah. And you have great intentions, but between one show and the next, you get 20, 30 new joints.
And you forget something. There'll be times, like, I get a song, and even, like, locally, I got to play this. And then I, like you said, I get the new DJ Khaled came out. I had to drop that, and I made sure I had to get that in. And I forgot this record. Then I had to come back to it 3 weeks later. I got it on. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly how it is.
Man, there's so much. Like, for real, we gonna have to do a part 2, bro. For real. I got to touch on this. So, like I said, I moved here in the mid-'90s, and 95, from what my research tells me, was when Poha started.
Yep, 95.
I didn't get to the first. I didn't get to the first few Pohops, but I remember when I had an opportunity to attend my first Pohop. It was so dope because the way that it was set up, where you had so much music, so many different venues over a period of time. Yep. And you had local artists and you had industry artists. Yep. So like I said, I came in like
So you came like that would have probably been like Pohop. There's been like a total of 12, so that would have, you probably came in around Pohop
9
or 10.
Yeah.
Was it with like Chris Calico or Large Professor or one of those?
I feel like it was after. You know what? Now that you say that, I feel like it was after Large Professor, because I think when I learned Large Professor was here, I was like, oh, I'm not missing one. I'm definitely not gonna miss one. But you just broke down, number one, how busy you are, like all the things that you're involved in, and then you've also broken down how the industry has changed, which really pushes you in a little bit of a different fashion.
Yeah.
Which means you probably don't have a lot of time to bring back Poha.
No, I am.
Oh, word.
This
Okay.
year.
Exclusive.
Yeah, this is the first, like, I'm doing a few things, so this will be the first time people will hear about it, but December, it'll probably be, I know it's going, I have dates December 7 and 8 for sure.
Word.
But then the surrounding dates will also be probably 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Or 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is build it around also my toy drive, the yearly toy drive, make it as big as possible, build Pohop into it, and also have enough time to really blow it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So just in case people are either new to the scene or aren't real familiar with it, we should probably spend just a little bit of time talking about what is Pohop, the genesis of it, and then, you know, if you can share what people can expect for
I mean, Pohop, it's crazy how it actually came about. So Pohop is the Portland, Oregon Hip Hop Festival. What I did is basically, I had put out my first record, like Harsh Game. And at that point in time, you know, within the city, it was, I mean, I guess, sometimes it's hard to be modest, but be truthful. Yeah. Like was killing it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Was killing it. Yeah. Like that album was killing it. Like, so David Parks, who now is in Too Many Zoos, I didn't know him at the time, and he reached out to me and he was like, yo, man, I've been seeing what you're doing around here. You know, you got a voice, like, and I see how you pushing. I see what you're doing. So he was like, I got an idea where we could utilize your voice and utilize you knowing people in the city, in the hip hop scene, and we could put together something called Pohop. And I was like, oh, okay. So we will start with one night, and we did it at La Luna. Yeah. And it basically was to showcase the local hip hop, put it on a prime stage, and show the city what we had to offer hip hop wise. Yeah. And so he was coming from the alt rock, you know, or indie rock scene. So he was like, we're gonna use what the indie rock scene has been doing and incorporate it in the hip hop. And so we put together the first one. That first year, I think it was like 500-600 people. Wow. At the first one. So then we're like, okay, we see now. So from Pohop, we started just doing like a lot of local shows, like mixed bills. So where shows where you would have Cool Nutz, Libretto, Grassroots, Maniac Loc, you know. Yeah. So you have like what would be perceived as West Coast rap. Then you had like what's perceived as like East Coast hip hop. Right. Then you would have stuff like Emerge MCs and Maiji and them with what would be the backpack, lyrical, you know, stuff like that. And so you would have basically a smorgasbord of all the different styles of hip hop. But it was just hip hop. Yeah. So people literally second year Pohop, we did 2 nights at La Luna, which was 1,000 cap venue. We did 800 people the first night and sold out the second night. But it was like literally the whole city. Like when you dropped the flyers, there was electricity in the city. Like, man, Pohop is coming. Like you had to be there. Right. And it would be like the hood cats, the rap fans, barbers, everything, you know what I mean? Like, and so Pohop was culturally inclusive of everyone, inclusive, and like to the point where artists would be mad. Like if you wasn't on Pohop, you was hot because you knew it was gonna be cracking. Like you knew that it was gonna be packed. You knew the flyers and every poster, the hood was gonna be talking about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It. So that's what Pohop was. And so big shout out to David Parks because he was like a visionary in a lot of areas in terms of what he saw in me and what he saw in the city, and even he cultivated in me the stuff that I'm doing now to show me what was possible, show me how to utilize the indie scene here, booking venues, how to promote like the rock artists, doing the pole posters, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, man.
So obviously a lot of success.
And rest in peace, Steven Spirit. So like the starting point of Pohop was me, David Parks, Steven Spirit, and Mike Crenshaw. Like people don't realize Mike Crenshaw was very instrumental because Hungry Mob was their band, and they were a key part of the building blocks. Tony Hill, You know, the whole thing, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Man. So it's coming back in 2017.
Yep.
Are there any names that you can drop, or you want?
Man, I haven't. I've only reached out because what it started as was the toy drive, and also the Ash Street is closing December 31st.
Yeah.
So it started as like basically the toy drive, and then like our end of Ash Street kind of show.
Right.
But I'm like, man, truth be told, the city needs Poha right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I only reached out to one person, but that was under the guise of the toy drive.
Gotcha.
But it's a prominent, popular Portland hip hop artist that I'm
intrigued.
Yeah.
Okay. Being from Portland, doing what you've done, a lot of what you just described in Portland, and then even other things, man. I've had an opportunity to talk to artists who sing your praises for the opportunities that you gave them, and how it's really helped them create somewhat of a career out of this love for the art form, which is cool. There's so much talk about Portland hip hop now, and it's interesting because depending on who you talk to generationally, you understand that that's nothing new.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are more. I mean, the internet is today what it wasn't 25 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So now you can go anywhere and you hear about the Portland scene that it's growing.
Yeah.
What do you do with that as an artist, promoter, record label owner? The fact that people now can put out records, like we talked about, streaming records, Bandcamp, and really, help Portland pop. Do you just keep it moving and do what you've done? And I guess my question is there any opportunity there to continue to connect with young artists like you have in the past, to provide guidance, to educate?
Man, even now, I'm constantly doing that because I understand what a lot of these cats, I understand what I didn't have available to me, to the point where I know like the resources like I can give the cats. Like for instance, like like younger people, like I've been in all of these generations, man. Like I've contributed in so many different ways, and in terms of reaching out to cats. Like when I hear somebody dope, like I remember like first time I heard Luck One when he got out, and I heard Could Have Been Me. Like I was like, man, that's dope. And so like with the radio show, we were doing the bar for bar.
Right.
We were doing like a lot of things on mainstream radio that hadn't been heard, you know, and a lot of people were hearing Luck One also through that show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On top of what he was doing.
Yeah.
And the bar for bars where the bar thing where he's dropping the bars.
Yeah.
So it's like, so if you go back to like Luck One's era, then you got the Mikey Vegas, Flyboy era.
Yeah.
You got our era where you still got Maniac Loke. Then you have that trickling down to Dre Steves, who's a popular voice in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even like my conversations and consulting with managing Illmaculate, and a lot of conversations I have with Mike Capes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I recognize, for one, I'm still a fan. So I recognize dopeness, man. I recognize talented individuals. Like for me, like Illmac as a rhymer is one of the best rappers, like period. Not just Portland, but like when you listen to the stuff he's rapping, and I've been in a hotel room when we're on the road and he's prepping for a battle, and watching a man sit with his face in the corner, memorizing these bars, like full song, acapella lengths, raps of full songs that he's gonna get up there and perform or battle somebody, come back with rebuttals, and then also go to his albums like Clay Pigeons and listen to him. And when I see that, I can say, hey man, that man's a beast.
Yeah.
Like Versatile is a beast.
Yeah.
Mike Crenshaw is a beast.
Yeah.
Like Pricey. People ain't even got a full dose of Pricey.
Yeah.
Pricey is one of the most vicious MCs to hail from Portland.
Yeah.
On a level. Like if you ask Versatile, pricey. Like you ask Chill, pricey. You know, like so there's cats that some cats don't even recognize. Like these cats are beasts.
Yeah.
And when I hear that, I still get inspired by that. Like when I hear dope rapping, when I hear even cats from the town, Vinny Dwayne. You know what I'm saying? Just like real deal bars, rappers, this talented individuals. Like even with him, like I reach out to cats, like, yo, man, tap in, like how can I help you? Or when cats call me, like, Nuts, I'm trying to get on this show at the Roseland. I put in a call. You know what I'm saying? Everybody deserves them opportunities to touch them big stages, to rock those big crowds. And if something comes from it, it's even better. But if we're all on the same page of like how my resources can help you, then also if you get in a position how you can come back and help somebody else, or let me throw Nuts a plug or a line, because like we all can help each other, even if sometimes, like you said, some people look at it as like, man, he got a better hand than me. But I might got a better hand, but I might not have reach or access to this audience over here. So I definitely always feel like I'm always in that discussion of like how I can, like, not even just in the discussion, but like that's always on my mind, how I can help the young cats, you know what I'm saying? Cats coming up, how I can give them a plug or give them a good word, or if I'm out of town, like, talk to cats, like, or put in a good word for somebody. So
that's what's up, man. Chopping up with my man Cool Nutz. So again, the fact that you've traveled the world and have had an opportunity to see how Portland is perceived outside of Portland. So I guess this is a two-part question. One, what have you heard? Like, what is that perception? And then two, how does Portland feel compared to other cities in terms of response to their local artists, support of their local artists?
A lot of the times, the first thing I hear about Portland is, oh, it's actually black people out there. You know what I'm saying? And then the next thing, you hear is, so what's going on out there? Who's popping? Because I mean, like, in terms of like household names, like on a like global level, I mean, like right now, of course, you got to give Amine his thing. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it kind of goes into the realm of independent artists. Like, you have the Cool Nutz, you still have the Lifesavers, in terms of like, okay, the next top tiers. And then also you got the Mike Bogans. Like Mike Bogan's done a good job. You got, Artful Dodger, she's doing a good job. Then you have like even Mikey Vegas has had his lane where he's touched a lot of people outside of the city. Who else, man? I mean, there's even people that a lot of times don't get credit, like Braille. Braille like has toured the world, man. Sand People and Ilmac. Ilmac is one of them people that, like, in terms of artists and acknowledgments, like I've been in Australia with him and we walking down the street and Australian kids, immaculate, you're immaculate. You know what I'm saying? Who else was I gonna say? The Sand People. Sand People. And who was the other kind of conglomerate? Old Dominion. That was the next one. So like Sleep, Gray Skull, and of course that's Seattle, but it's still inclusive of Portland. Because Sleep and Chicharrones and all of that Boom Bap Project, all that stuff. So like people have got like nice doses of Portland on a global level. Like, I mean, like you said, like I've toured the world and played in Norway and in Amsterdam and France and and in London, and Lifesavers toured the world. Gray Skull and people like that, and they a lot of times they carry the Seattle flag, but people also look at it as Portland, because Old Dominion has been very, very Portland centric. And but you hear that and you see that, and then what was the second part?
Just in terms the response, because one of the things that I see in Portland is, for all the great talent that you mentioned, oftentimes when you go to a show in Portland, the bodies aren't there.
I think the problem, the thing that happened with Portland is that Portland peaked hip hop wise before the internet. That's the key. Like Portland You had Five Fingers of Funk. I don't know if you ever heard of Five Fingers of Funk.
Oh, yeah.
But you had Five Fingers of Funk.
Pete Miser now.
Yeah, that was selling out the Crystal Ballroom, Roseland. You had us doing, I've done 900 people at not Burbati's, but La Luna.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've done consistent 500s at Burbati's, consistent 300-400s of our own fans, for our shows. And that doesn't, not just Poha, but like Cool Nutz birthday parties, Cool Nutz night with Cool Nutz, Cool Nutz and friends, and and it's packed. And that was, and I think that started to change with the internet, because Portland was a city that was so geared off of physical CDs, physical posters, physically coming out to the shows. So Portland artists have done big numbers. Like we've filled them buildings. Yeah. But then I think it changed in terms of when the internet came on, Seattle had a better grasp on that, on the internet than Portland. So then you started to see, again, the Macklemores, the Souls, some of the cats now like Sam LaChild, who else is it? I said Macklemore.
XP's doing this thing.
Yeah, XP, and then there's who else? Greaves.
Yeah, that's right.
Greaves and cats like that kind of they came in when the internet hit and took kind of Blue Scholars, and kind of took better. And I don't know what it is in terms of with Portland, in terms of, it seems like Portland also is very, very within the scene, very divided. Yeah. You got artists where they're some of them would be oh, if you rock it with me, don't go support them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or if you part of this scene, we don't rock with them.
Right.
But back in the days when the scene was popping, we used to could do a show on a Wednesday night, man, and have 300-400 people upstairs at La Luna in the smaller room. Yeah. A room that held 500 people. We have 400 people in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've watched Five Fingers of Funk sell out La Luna, sell out Peter, sell out the Crystal Ballroom, sell out Burbati's, and I've watched us do the same things. Yeah. But it just changed, and I think it also got divided, and cats get catty, and they don't fully understand what support is in terms of if I go support Nutz in turn is gonna bring his people and tell his people to come support me. Yeah. And that's how it should be. It should be genuine of people saying this is hip hop. You know what I mean? This is hip hop. This is all hip hop. This is Portland hip hop. We all pushing it. We should all look out for each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I've been saying quite frequently recently that it seems like when you look at other regions, even regions that are divided geographically or whatever the case may be, that region definitely reps for itself. Yeah. And again, when I first moved to Portland and started paying attention and trying to understand the scene, that was actually one of the things that I saw was that there were people who weren't necessarily messing with one another. Yeah, yeah.
Can
we change that? Is there a way to change that?
I feel like everybody has to come together, and be on the same page in terms of the conversation of saying yo, if Klyph got something going on, you wrong if you don't show up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If Libretto got something going on, you wrong if you don't show up. Right. If Mic Check is popping, that's part of the culture. You wrong if you don't show up. If Nuts and them got Breakout Tuesdays, you wrong if you not in the building. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Because it's showing that people are going to shows. People are supporting, all the artists coming through the Roseland, all the artists coming through the Crystal Ballroom. Yeah. There should be no separation in terms of and that's how it used to be. There was sometimes we were doing bigger numbers than the touring artists that would come through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Chopping on my man Cool Nutz. All right. We got to get ready to head over to the radio show, man, because we're doing Welcome to the Neighborhood tonight. I definitely appreciate you doing that, man. But I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact you touched on it. But there's new music, bruh.
Yeah.
Finally, bro.
Yeah.
There's new music that's about to drop.
Yeah.
Album release date is set.
Yep, September 29th.
Okay.
And the album is called Terrence, which is, my God-given name, or my mother gave me.
Yeah.
And And I just, man, I sometimes get caught up in like, I be recording music and holding back or overthinking stuff and just not putting the stuff out when I should just be flooding it. And so I got this album, the Terrence album, which was an EP at first, but then I just went ahead and like added more stuff to it. So I'm dropping that, and I'm excited because I feel like it's just it represents where I am with what I'm doing with my music. It represents who I am. It represents even like some of the changing times, but I feel like it's genuine. It's genuine good. Just genuine good hip hop. It ain't no gimmicks to it. Ain't no I'm trying to sound like this or fit into that. Like it's sample driven shit on there. Yeah. It's hip hop stuff, West Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and there's some good features on there too. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
How has your creative process changed, if it has? I had a conversation recently with a veteran MC, Versatile, and he was talking about earlier in the scene, and he talked about the fact that cats were working and doing whatever to save up money to go into the studio or find that one person who had like a SP1200 or whatever, and then Cool Nutz all of a sudden had the studio in the basement, and it was a brat. Like everybody was like, and you just started making music because you had the access. So and
I learned that from Bosco. Like, man, truth be told, like that's I mean, that's my bro. That's my big brother. You feel me? And so he was always DJing and producing, and we were recording. And I would have to and he moved to LA to go to USC, so I had to start going down there to record. And so I was like, man, I can't always get down there to record. Right. So he was like, well, man, maybe you should get a studio. So when I got, he had gave me an 8-track recorder. I just kind of started messing with it, and then I forget that I bought my first ADAT, and then we got our record deal. We got a record deal, and I bought 2 more ADATs. Okay. A mixer, outboard gear, the full studio. So I had the full studio in the basement. So then I also had bought I got a Ensoniq EPS and started producing, and then I progressed to the ASR 10 and a Roland JD 990 keyboard module. So I just started learning how to produce and record. And so a lot of times what people don't know is the songs that people know of mine, like What I'm About, 76 Nova, which are some of my biggest songs. I produced both of those.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah. So 76 Nova, What I'm About, a lot of the Maniac Loc, I'm Back album, a lot of the Speaking Upon a Million, Harsh Game, a lot of that was produced by me and Bosco.
Okay.
And so what we did is I would record it up here, produce it, and I'd take it down to him. We dump it into the Pro Tools. Stuff that, like keyboard parts I couldn't play, I'd have him play them. Or stuff how I knew I wanted it, or just tightening up the samples, or adding some singing or talk box. We would do it like that. So, like even with What I'm About, when we were in when we were wrapping up the Harsh Game album, we had needed the hook on the album, and Versatile at the time was I think this was his wife worked for FedEx, so they had the flight plug. So he jumped on a plane and flew to LA and recorded the hook to What I'm About.
Oh, word.
Yeah, so that's Versatile on there.
Okay.
And much that's my bro too. Like that's one of my bros. Like and so having that studio, man, just like so much stuff from the Western Conference All-Stars. Like I don't know if you ever saw that CD, but it's a double CD, all Portland hip hop. So it's 28 tracks, everything from Lifesavers, Libretto, Grassroots, Maniac, Star Child on there rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that where like stuff you're not really gonna ever hear. Like you're not finna see Star jump up on stage and rap. You know what I mean? So he's on there rapping. Of course, Emerge MCs. Who else? I already said Grassroots, HTK, DJ Wicked, of course, Gism, Kenny Mac, Al C, and Duck, Can't Be Caught. and just so much, man. Like, but a big portion of that was recorded in the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, cats was turning in songs, right. And but that studio played a big part in what is, you know, like a lot of the Maniac album, like his classic, like albums that people still talk about to this day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm Back, people still talk about. G-ism on a Mission was recorded there. Like I said, Harsh Game, Speaking Upon a Million, and even other stuff like the Nothing But the Family, Kenny Mack and G-ism album.
Yeah.
So all of that, man, like songs, Lifesavers. I still got ADATs and hard drives not hard drives, but ADATs and DAT tapes of stuff that like we recorded, albums of stuff people ain't never heard. I should put. I gotta, with the internet, I need to put some of that stuff out.
That would be crazy.
Yeah,
that would be crazy. My man, Cool Nutz, bro. So now we have to get to part. We got to do a part two. There's so much we ain't even touch on.
There's like there's a lot of stuff.
So much stuff. The album Terrence is about to drop. You're doing more visuals for that.
Yep.
And then bro, you never around, bro. So are you gonna have an opportunity with all the other stuff that you're doing? Are you gonna have an opportunity to do any Cool Nutz shows?
Yeah, we got the release party next Saturday.
Okay.
On the 30th.
Okay.
And that's at the Ash Street. Me, Rashid Jamal.
That's gonna be a dope moment.
Yeah, Juma Black.
A word.
And who else is on there? Me, Rashid, Juma Black.
I had it pulled up.
I know Skinny Pete is gonna be rocking.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a Fat Boy, of course, and then like my, you know, of course the Maniacs and Dre Steves and all them will be there too.
Word up.
Yeah.
Word up. For in the interim, the best way for people to try to catch you.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm gonna say this though, like you nice on your social media, bruh. You know what I'm saying? If people follow you on social media, you nice on your social media. Social media is just Cool Nutz, right?
Yeah, just at Cool Nutz. So the I mean, the one I'm mostly, man, I'm nice with it, but I'm bad with it too. Like, because I got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and like Instagram is probably the one I use the most.
Yeah.
Facebook, like a lot of them I use because I have to.
Right.
If there was a way for me to like streamline and just have one where everybody can just go to, I would love to do that, but I can't. But just everything is at Cool Nutz. So like Facebook, Cool Nutz, Instagram, Cool Nutz, Twitter, Cool Nutz, and you Google me, you know, you find it all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give y'all a tip right quick, man. Follow Cool Nutz absolutely on Instagram. Do be having me laughing, bro. Do be having me laughing. I ain't even gonna lie, man. And then on
that's one of the honestly, truth be told, that's one of my points. One of my main things with social media is making it entertaining and funny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I feel like, because that's who really my personality is, like being funny. So that's what I use it for, especially Instagram. To like, you know, like me and my wife were out of town for her birthday, and I was doing these clips where I was like, yeah, I remember the first time I met her, I was working at Pietro's Pizza, and she was up the street at Farrell's, you know what I mean? And just being funny. And every time she, like, the first time I did it, she didn't know what I was going to say. I'm like, hi, what's up, babe? She's like, in the background, I'm like, yeah, I remember when I was, I was working at the grocery store, and you was at such and such, and she just started cracking up. But that's the whole point of, my social media is for it to be entertaining, man.
Yeah. And he definitely does a good job of that. So definitely check for my man Cool Nutz. Be on the look for the new album, Terrence.
Yeah.
Release show. This may not even release before the release show, but also be on the look. Super, super excited about the holidays coming up, the toy drive that you do every year, which is a dope thing. Like consistently every year.
And also come out and donate some toys, man. We go around and we drop off them bags to families, and it's a lot of the times, man, people got laid off their jobs, couldn't get their kids Christmas presents. So like being able to give some kids some video games, some shoes, stuff like even like CJ McCollum donated shoes, some of his game shoes, giving kids stuff like that. Like I said, video games, toys, even clothes, just different stuff. So it's been a blessing, man, to be able to do that. And I started that. Big shout out to Tragedy.
Yeah,
Tragedy 503.
Word up.
That's my guy, man. We did like some big toy drive years. Remember Rock and Roll Pizza?
Yep.
Where the stage was full of toys, you know?
Yep.
And so that's another person. He inspired me to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out Tragedy.
That's what's up.
Good dude, man.
He definitely is a good dude, man.
Yeah.
All right, we about to go jump on this radio show, man. You know you can catch me on XRAY FM, Welcome to the Neighborhood, every Saturday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Once again, of course, XRAY was voted best radio station in Portland. And then you can also catch Cool Nutz. He does some radio show on some other radio stations.
Oh, yeah. Jamming 107.5, Friday nights with CJ McCullum playlist, Sunday nights, breakout show, 9 p.m. to midnight. And that's even just been a blessing too, man, to have the platform to play. Like they give me the room to play what I want to play and support what I want to support and do shows and do the penthouse parties and do the, you know, like even the Who's Next campaign where we're able to support, where artists are on a 30-second commercial, a minute-long commercial with Oregon Automotive, where they come in and I get to pick artists where, Who's Next, this artist, check out, we've done Artful Dodger, we've done Flyboy Mo, we've done Glenn Waco, Champagne Dwayne, and so many more, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and got many more coming. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. So I can't, it's been a blessing to have that platform, man.
And once again, man, I mean, I think, much love to you for again being consistent with that support of the local scene, man, and just excited for what's next, not only from what you're doing for the local scene, but what's coming from your art as well.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. Once again, man, check out my man Cool Nutz all over the place, and be on the look for that album. And be ready for part 2, because part 2 we really about to get in. We're gonna get in. I don't even know.
There's so much stuff, man. There's so much stuff to talk about that people like. We could. Yeah, if you just you draft up some questions, man, and let's go deep. That's one of the stuff. Like a lot of the times we always get to touch on so much of the stuff, the regular stuff, but there's so much stuff like just from like a hip hop perspective, Portland perspective, Northwest perspective, that if people knew the journey, man, like really of the stuff of not just me but the scene. Other artists, stuff that came before us, stuff that came after us, how things came about. You know what I'm saying?
And that stuff is interesting because I think, that saying, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you came from? Yeah. And I think that's important to have that understanding of what is the foundation. Like you said, who influenced you? Who influenced the generation of Portland hip hop that I know of? And I'm actually beginning to learn a little bit more about that. Yeah. I think that can be one of the things that really helps the scene grow to the next level. So for real, let's definitely do part 2, B.
Like Versatile said, just you ain't got to lie or feel hurt by telling the truth. Like sometimes cats don't be telling the truth about really what has went on around here and what really occurred. Like people, you see some of these artists, man, get in newspapers and interviews and say some stuff like the scene wasn't popping or it was dead or I'm here to put it on. And it was like, no, it was always on.
Right.
We've been on.
Right.
Like we put it on, bro. We put Portland on. Like we put Portland in the Source and XXL, MTV2, Rap Pages, Murder Dog Magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like cats don't realize, like even with Lifesavers, like we did our thing. And we've had the record deals, but Lifesavers was the first group from here to have that full blown media blitz, all where they hit XXL Source all at one time, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like until now with Amine, nobody had did that, and we smashed through too. Like we've done some stuff, but with Lifesavers they came, they had the full where it was somebody had a publicist, it was fully together, and they hit them spots that. Like a lot of cats hadn't hit, you know what I'm saying?
But like you said, they did it in an era where you had to have somebody to make that happen for you. Now I could jump on Twitter and do woo woo woo. Yeah, I mean, and I don't mean to hate,
but it's true. Yeah. Like you had to. Now you can reach out to anybody, man. Like I was talking to CJ about that. Me and CJ was talking about like, think about back in the day. When could you reach out to Michael Jordan?
Right.
Like just hit him directly or be like, I was looking on Twitter the other day and somebody was like, some we've been supporting this, that, and the third in Utah. Damian Lillard, will you please retweet this? And he retweeted it.
Right.
Like when could you do that? Like outside of sending a fan club letter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like now you can literally reach out and touch the publicist, touch the writer, tweet DM. Right there, and if say you send them a song and they happen to like it, they can turn around and just put a post up like, like that,
just
man.
like that. Just
DJ
like that.
booth, hot new hip hop.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Pigeons and planes.
Yep.
But it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that.
So to get on then. Before that, I mean that's a big deal. But we gonna get into more of that. We definitely doing part 2.
Yeah,
my man, Cool Nutz, brother. I appreciate you so much, man. For
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Remember, subscribe, share, and like Klyph Notes podcast wherever you get your podcast. So until we do it again, God bless. Peace.